Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
All right, welcome in to Woodward Sports Network. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, joined as always Matthew Broder. Let's have a night, boys. Let's do it. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. We've got Jaylen in the TD booth. We've got Nick in the sound booth.
Let's go.
This is the last days of the week. They are part-timers right now. Jaylen came off the IR. He won't be here tomorrow. And Nick,
guess where Nick's going? Yes, sir. Hold up. Leaving in the morning, I am fired up for Tampa Bay and to see the Lions get a road victory. This will be my first time seeing the Lions win on the road. I was in Dallas last year. We didn't win that one.
You went to Dallas.
I'm coming back 1-1 on the road as a Lions fan. Let's go. Pulled out the Woodward Nights jersey for it. Let's go.
Did he say he went to Dallas last year?
Dallas last year and they lost.
How do we get him to not go to this Tampa Bay?
We don't have Jamal fumbled on the 1 yard line. Come on, boys. We win that game if he doesn't do that.
Never mind.
I disagree, but
I'm a very superstitious man.
I am. Dude, I wear the same exact things when they win on a streak. If you went to a game last year and they lost on the road, you can't ever go to an away game again. Especially when they're 4-1.
Come on.
True. That's a problem. We have to figure this out.
We are going and taking over Tampa Bay.
Can we are winning the chat game. Boycott Nick right now?
Boo-hoo. Everybody that will be down there, say what's up. Have a brewski. Let's go.
Nick's going to be famous down there, man.
He always wins.
He sounds like you're going to be famous.
Always.
The most famous Michigander since Tom Brady?
Ooh.
Oh, something like that, right?
Hey, I love it, though. Let's. Are you ready? We've got a packed night.
We do. There's so much sports going on right now.
Pistons, Red Wings opened they started the season already. It's Pistons preseason. Red Wings are a regular season today. Thursday night football. The Phillies are playing today versus the Braves. Is there anything else that I'm missing?
No.
That's the 4 things. We only have 1 TV in here right now. And guess what? We only get
the Pistons.
The Pistons. Which I love. Shout out the Pistons. I got the Bad Boys shirt on. But we only get the Pistons. I want to see the Red Wings. I want to see Amazon. I want to see that. I want to see the
ESPN
NFL.
Plus and all this streaming. We can't even see everything.
I mean, unless you guys in the chat will pay for it, we cannot broadcast that. Sorry.
Where's our boy Jeff?
Man, that is brutal. But we've got a packed show for you guys. We're going to start off, obviously, we're going to go over our Thursday night football picks. Red Wings obviously start. I guess we could talk a little bit about them. I put a picture in there that I love. Ooh. I love to see every single year. It pops up. It's the best. We'll go over that a little bit. Then we're going to get into some Detroit Lions injury updates. Breaking news, if you guys haven't heard yet, Sam Laporta was out today at practice. So we're going to talk about that. Broder was at practice. 8:30, we're going to go over again a little bit Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another preview of it a little bit, a couple more things with that. Then tomorrow is going to be full Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Detroit Lions show there. 8:45, Jared Goff. We're going to talk about Jared Goff. There were some things going on around at Woodward today, and it seems like the big conversation around the network here is Jared Goff being a top 5 quarterback, which I think everyone agrees with. But
it's how it's presented.
There's been some to me at least, wild takes about Jared Goff. And we're going to address that. We're going to address it. Me and Broder, I think Broder and I were texting today. I think we might be on a similar page. It feels like a little bit. There might be a little bit of a disconnect, but I think it's more similar. 9 o'clock, we're going to go about Detroit Lions locker room. Broder spoke with Amon-Ra St. Brown today. Going to talk about that. 9:15, Richard Sherman had some things to say about some wide receivers around the league. Guess who wasn't mentioned?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. 9:30 around the NFL. We're going to do our top 10 coaches in the NFL. Dan Campbell was not on the top 10 list. Did not make a top 10 graphic that came out. 9:40, we're gonna take some callers, and then 9:50 mailbag.
And we got updates all night coming from the booth. They're going to give us the Red Wings on top of let me make sure I get the name right. Bradley Stroh's been hitting me with all the Red Wings updates thus far. I appreciate
Shout out
it.
Bradley.
Apparently they're looking tough already. They're slamming guys into the boards. Killed off a power play.
Oh, but they don't have their young guys.
It's a process, baby.
It is. That's what I was saying yesterday, man.
Philly basketball. It's
Everyone's like, oh, man, they're not going to make the playoffs. They don't have their young guys. Like, they moved them down. They brought in veterans. Let's go. Come on. This is a squad, man. This is a squad. Jaylen. Come on, boys.
Squad.
They're about to be in the playoffs this year. And then the Devils teams, they're not a scrub right now that they're playing against.
No, Uncle Marty's old team. Uncle Martin, Broder.
Yeah.
Uncle Marty.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, here, let's get into it, though. Thursday Night Football, Broncos at Kansas City Chiefs. We'll go around the room so you guys can follow along with us. We'll give out our picks here. Chiefs are 10.5-point favorites.
Ooh.
Everyone else, besides Broder, Nick, Jaylen, and me, let's give out our picks for the spread. Broder, you just give out, obviously, who wins and a little bit prediction on how you think the game's going to go. Obviously, the Chiefs are going to win, but just kind of you could talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'll start with you then, Broder.
Oh, the Chiefs are going to win. What are they favored by?
10.5, but you can't talk about that.
No, right. But that's a tough 10.5. I don't believe in Denver at all tonight. I don't believe in their defense this season. We were talking before. If I were a football player and I knew my team was just giving up, they were fire sailing anyone who they could get something for. I wouldn't have it in me to play 100%. Such a physical, violent game. This could get ugly. Chiefs might win by 3 touchdowns, but they're definitely going to win by 2.
By 2? You think by 2? Nick, 10.5 spread. Are you taking? It sounds like you're taking the Chiefs.
Backing you on that one, Broder. Yeah, this game's not going to be close. I know the 10.5, it's a huge number. KC is elite. The Denver Broncos are not. It's simple as that. KC's taking over this game early. Swift in the building. They're going to put on an effing night show.
Whoa.
DeAndre Swift's going to the Chiefs game?
Sounds like it. They did say that.
It's going to be a blowout.
They did say that they're not going to show Taylor Swift as much as they have in the last few weeks.
That's good idea.
They've made that change, which they were like, we're not going to make the side show the main show.
I'm cool with it.
That's mean.
Jaylen, you were 10.5. Who are you riding with here? What side are you on?
Well, I'm not going to do that because I have them minus 6.5 against the Jets, and they almost choked that, which they did choke.
So you're going Denver?
No. I'm going to go 10.5, but I'm not happy about it. I think
10.5 Denver?
No.
Chiefs?
I'll go Chiefs, man, but I think it'll be like 31-17 or something like that.
Okay.
35-20. I don't think they're going to lose by 21 plus, but that 10.5 is kind of close. I mean, you never. Russell Wilson may show up. You never know, but I don't know.
You think they got bad blood?
Oh, now look what you done, huh? Oh.
That was good.
Oh.
What? That was like a fairy tale.
That was a good one.
Yeah, just shake it off.
You guys all went. We might turn the desk into a comedy show up here.
Yeah.
I mean, Broder's on fire.
Keep going.
Football.
I know kung fu.
All right, let me get the show back on track here. We're gonna let's
Booner.
Let's stay locked in, fellas. Jeez. All right, I'm going against the room. Give me the Broncos plus 10.5.
That works too.
Double digit dogs in the NFL always end up hitting. I know I've done it a couple weeks ago. I took the double digit dog, lost. But today it hits. The Chiefs, they lost versus the Lions. They only beat the Jaguars 17-9. They beat the Jets 23-20, and they beat the trash Vikings 27-20. The only team they blew out was the worst team in the league, the Bears. The Bears are the worst football team in the league. The Broncos aren't as bad. The Broncos beat the Bears. They came back by 21 points to beat the Bears.
Yeah.
So the Broncos are a better team. If they end up going up by 17, 14, 20 points, the Broncos will get back into the game, whether it's just bad time at the end. They're going to get back in the game.
Was that part of the comedy show?
No. The comedy show was just I'm not even going to go there.
He's on fire.
You're really picking the Broncos. I won't make fun of you, but you're 100% serious.
Yeah, no, plus 10.5 points. I mean, double-digit dogs take it.
Yeah, see, that's the knowledge I don't know.
Next thing here, Red Wings obviously at 7:30. We talked about them a little bit. I guess we can't give a pick, but I did put a picture up in the chat, Jaylen, of the man, the myth, the legend. My partner when it comes to these live streams and gambling, the one, the only D-Mac, Darren McCarty. And what does D-Mac always say, fellas? I tried to tell you guys this last night, sitting in his chair. Keep calm and trust the Iser plan, baby. Let's go, D-Mac. It is game day. You see it there. It's 0-0 still, I believe, correct? Update, Nick? 0-0 still. I think that's almost the end of the first, but I'm excited for the win. I wish we could have it on in the
I know, how do you not have the opening your opening game not on your local station?
Like
I need some Ken Kell and I need Mickey Redmond.
You have,
and I think they're split up tonight.
It's crazy. You have the Pistons on Bally, preseason Pistons on Bally, and the season opener on ESPN Plus. How does that? Who decides that?
I don't know, man.
At least if you're going to have it on ESPN Plus, just do it on Bally as well. Like, do both broadcasts.
Yeah.
They've done that before, I'm pretty sure.
They should. That's technology these days, I tell you.
IT Hip says the Eisner plan has been going on for 5 years, though, fellas. Hey, man, it doesn't happen overnight.
It took him, 5 years in Tampa to get it going, or 4?
And look what happened with them.
Yeah, he needs an extra year. Whatever the length was, it's an extra year or two here, because the Red Wings were in a horrible, horrible situation when he took over.
Yeah.
So it takes time. I love what he's doing. Will they compete for the playoffs? To be determined.
Yeah.
To be determined.
There's another graphic here, Broder, that I saw. I posted on Woodward actually today. I can't remember who posted it. Their name is actually on the picture. So when we pull this picture up about the Detroit Lions here, the picture's up there. But it says the Detroit Lions are 12-3 since Peyton Manning and Jeff Daniels lifted the curse of Bobby Lane. Crazy. Do you guys remember this?
Yeah.
It was Thanksgiving last year, I believe. This came out.
Dude.
They made this video, and they've been 12-3 ever since.
That's crazy.
I'm not one to talk about
superstition,
like wizardry or whatever this stuff is.
I went to Hogwarts.
Yeah, like all that stuff. But this might be
Gryffindor, mother lover.
They did something here.
Sorry.
Wow.
They did something here.
Wow.
I love that episode. That was so cool to see both of them, in Ford Field. That was pretty cool.
What was it on? Was it
ESPN Plus?
Like they were doing? It was part of a show, or
it was like Manning's Places or something like that.
Oh, okay,
and
part of the Omaha
Ford
Productions,
Field.
whatever.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Got you. No, I remember. I just couldn't remember if it was a commercial or just like a 20-second thing. It's 12-3, baby. 12-3.
That's crazy. I'm happy they did that. Shout out to Peyton Manning. Yeah. Shout out to Jeff Daniels for doing that. That's 12-3. Yeah. If we end up going through another stretch of 40 years again, I hope those guys are still alive at that point and they can do the same thing, or someone will step up and do it. Last thing here too is I saw this today, Broder. Someone posted it as well. But if you look at the kind of the NFL games and the ratings for NFL games, did you see this graphic?
I did. I don't remember anything but the first one. But it just to hear that was very, very interesting.
Wild. Look at this right here. The Detroit Lions, out of every NFL game so far this season, the Detroit Lions still sit at number 1 versus the Kansas City Chiefs with 26.9 million viewers.
And that second one, that was week 4. That wasn't even Aaron Rodgers.
No, that was not.
Ugh.
That I don't even know how that got to 26.2.
Yeah, either of the next two,
or even the Jets. I mean,
I guess New York. Maybe this is a lesson in markets and in playing in New York.
That's crazy.
You got eyes on you because they should, especially week 4. Well, I don't know. That's wild. But the fact that the Lions opening night against Kansas City are still the number 1 team, I think we're going to get some more games. We'll see that Monday night game. I'd be curious to see how that turns. What kind of eyes that turns out. Also, how the volume in Ford Field. I forget who posted. I think it was Will Birchfield from 97 when he posted something about the decibels got up to like 126 in the Panthers game. It's like 127 opening night against Seattle. But you got to imagine that Monday night game against the Raiders.
Think about that. That's just the Panthers. No offense to Carolina.
Right.
But that's the Carolina Panthers. Imagine if there's a playoff game in Ford Field.
It'd be that's why you start talking about them being the number 1 home field advantage. It's going to be electric.
Never had it in Ford Field before. Fans haven't had it since the early 90s. Oh man,
we need it. We need it. Come on.
All right, Broder, we're going to get into things here. We're going to get into the Detroit Lions next. We'll take a quick break. Detroit Lions injury updates coming up. Sam Laporta was out of practice today. Amon-Ra might be back. Brian Branch, Gibbs, questionable still, I think, correct? So we'll get to that when we get back.
I'll tell you about what I saw. My medical perspective.
My Dr.
PhD.
Broder.
Yeah.
You should come in with the doctor.
We're going to do a doctor segment for injury report sometime in the next week or 2.
Okay.
Do
you have a white coat?
I'll have one within a week.
Don't you have to go to school to get one?
We'll get it.
You can't just buy one, right?
We'll do a Woodward Sports, a green one.
I guess we have Party City.
It's almost Halloween, boys.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to put the blood on.
We're gonna have a Halloween show on that Tuesday. There's gonna be a Halloween show.
I'm in for it.
I like that. All right, Nick, tell us about the Academy of Warren. We'll be back with the injuries.
Quick little update. 0-0 Wings. Razor missed an open net, but
Love that.
who never misses is Academy of Warren. And they have a brand new state-of-the-art Sports Dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football with grades K through 8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K through 8 athletics. They are now accepting new enrollment. Go to theacademyofwarren.net.
Woodward Sports own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
All right, Outdoor Equipment Company. Let's talk about it real quick. The official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. That is Michigan-grown, family-owned. Bad boy mowers, tractors, style handhelds, and even weed whippers. Liberty trailers, generic generators, Snow X plows, salters. Anything you need, Outdoor Equip Co. and Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. Make sure you can buy it, you can rent it, 0% financing, straight to your door. Delivery right to your door. That is over at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Right there, Outdoor Equip Co. All right, fellas, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Make sure, if you guys haven't already, and I don't know why you haven't, hit that like button for us. Smack it. Hit it for us, please. We appreciate you guys a ton for tuning in. We're going to go over the Lions injury report now. Broder, you were at Allen Park. Before we even put the injury report up there, I just want to kind of get your feelings on how the vibe around the locker room today. I know there's been some weird injuries and some guys trying to get back. Is it still like confidence, or is it like Sam Laporta being out today?
So that's the one surprise. That's the one thing that caught everybody by surprise, caught us all by storm. And we don't have much details on when did the calf injury happen. It must have been yesterday at some point. Was it practice? Was it in the weight room? Was it something fluky? Who knows? So we're still speculating. We're still speculating on that. But it seems like the other guys, although the list was long, it seems like people are coming back. Like guys are getting healthy. The fact that Jonah Jackson wasn't out there for practice today is a little questionable, but it could mean a whole array of things. So I still am confident. Again, we want to see Laporta. We want to figure out what's going on with that. We'll learn more tomorrow when Dane Campbell talks to us and we get a chance to talk to the players again. But yeah, that's kind of the big one.
Do you know what that feels like? It feels like the Brian Branch injury. Or not the Brian Branch, Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm sorry. It feels like the Jahmyr Gibbs injury. To where it was like a practice thing and it felt like maybe a little bit they kept it quiet. I don't know if that was so like Tampa doesn't know. Yeah. But they just kept it quiet, and then it was like, hey, why isn't he out there? Because typically you hear things. It's like Jahmyr, we didn't hear anything, and he was out for the next game. And now Sam Laporta, you don't hear anything. So, like, how bad is that calf injury?
You're right. They've done a good job at keeping the door closed on these injuries. Even Amon-Ra spoke today, and he was talking about him. Remember we were talking how it seemed like Amon-Ra St. Brown was confident that he was going to play going into this Sunday's game against the Panthers. Yeah. He knew apparently pretty early in the week that he probably wasn't going to play. So I think this is an organizational strategy just to keep everything as tight as possible to them, both from a gamesmanship standpoint and just for a gamesmanship standpoint.
Calf.
So
I don't know, like
that's the thing I worry about. I don't like calf injuries. They're ones that don't. You could warm up and kind of play through it, But like Aaron Rodgers, like many other injuries, when you have an injury to the calf, everything else kind of is affected by that. You compensate in other ways. Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. He had been battling a calf injury the whole time. We don't want anything like that to happen to Sam Laporta, especially this early in his career. So I couldn't speculate for you. I really have no idea how bad it is or not, but the fact that this happened on Thursday, it gives me cause for concern about this weekend.
I hope he's able to go. The best tight end in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
You have him on your roster, and if he's not able to go, that's going to be an issue.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. What were you going to say?
I was just saying what was good to see. I saw Jahmyr Gibbs and Josh Paschal and James Mitchell, which didn't really hit me until I realized that Sam Laporta wasn't there, that we might actually need another tight end to play on Sunday.
They just signed someone, correct?
They did.
That's a quiet thing, too, because
what?
They signed him yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, in the last 2 or 3 days.
I wonder if they knew something
was
was up.
Anthony Firksker or something.
I wonder if they knew something was up.
It's a good call. I mean, I always thought they wanted a fourth tight end anyway. They would have kept Shane Zylstra if he didn't get hurt. So we'll see. This new tight end, although I haven't talked to him yet, he's a different breed than the tight ends they have. He's a lot smaller. I don't know if he's more of a receiver type, but who's more of a receiver type than Sam Laporta?
Sam Laporta.
Right, but we did get to see Jahmyr Gibbs. He was doing drills with the trainer. He was jogging. He was doing all these rehab drills for his ankle. Yep. And he was with Josh Paschal, that was the one that I was the happiest about. I don't think he comes back this weekend, but if he comes back soon, Josh he's that midseason addition. If you don't go out and get someone with a trade, you rely on Josh Paschal to be that new blood.
It was good. I saw a video of both of those guys kind of out there on the field working, and it looked like it was like, all right, these guys are slowly getting. I think Jahmyr's probably going to be good for Sunday.
Yeah.
It feels like, but Josh Paschal, it feels like if he's out there working with Gibbs, he's right there.
Yes,
like he's on the edge of playing, and that's a huge piece to this.
I thought he was going to be many more weeks out.
Think about how good this defensive line has been the last 2 or 3 weeks, and you didn't have Josh Paschal the whole time.
I know.
Like they took that next step, and they've been one of the best in the league, and you don't have one of your best players.
Yeah. On top of that, we haven't seen Broder Martin, and we're going to talk more about that later. We didn't see Bugs for the first 2 games. Like, the fact that they've been, especially on the defensive line, have been playing that well. Yeah. It's awesome. That's why it sucks having all these injuries, but I have so much optimism for the rest of the season because they've been able to get to this point. They're 4-1 with all these injuries.
This seems like a different game, too, compared like last week you mentioned how you felt like Brian Branch probably could have gone if it was a bigger game. Jahmyr, I don't know about Jahmyr because it was a mid-week injury, but some of these guys probably could have gone if it was a Tampa Bay, say. Yeah. So, like, this week I'm interested to see, like, if there's still guys that are a little beat up a little bit, if they're, because it is a big game, and we're going to get into in the next segment. At least I have in here. Like, I know yesterday I switched from a trap game to it's a game, and the more I thought about it last night and this morning at work, I was like, this actually might be it. This is a game. Mm-hmm. There's a lot on the line in this game, in my opinion. So these guys that are injured, Brian Branch, he wasn't out there today.
That worries me.
Why was he not? Like, I don't understand that.
I'm glad you brought that up. He was the one that, other than not seeing Laporta out there, not having Branch out there at practice was one thing, but then I saw him walking around the locker room after practice, and he was limping. He looked pretty ginger. And he only had one shoe on, or he had one sock off, and that's probably all the detail I can share. So he could be coming from treatment. He could be sore from a wide variety of things, but it didn't look like someone that could go out there tomorrow and play 100%.
No, that makes me very nervous.
Yeah,
especially when you have an offense, like weapons that this Tampa Bay team has. You want a guy like Brian Branch to be able to be there and play.
Yes,
and make an impact. Now, on the other side of things, Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker, those are still 2 great guys in the in the back there. If he's going to have to step up a little bit, some of these guys are going to have to step up if Brian Branch is out another game, because this isn't the Carolina Panthers, and you're not at home versus the worst team in the NFL,
right.
0-5 football team.
Right.
So you're going on the road to a 3-1 team. Other guys are these injuries. Ryan Ermanni said it today on E&E. Eventually, like, you can't just keep having these injuries and expect to win these games.
Yeah.
Because you're looking to be an elite team and we talked about it the other day. You're looking to be a Super Bowl team. You have the roster to do it, and you have the players and the coaches to do it. But if guys are constantly hurt and you're always having to battle through these things, Ermanni, it was a great point by him. It's like you're not going to be able to go out there and win every single week with these injuries. What did you say their ceiling was? 14 wins? Mm-hmm. No way you get to 14 wins if you're constantly battling guys like Brian Branch, are battling Jahmyr Gibbs, or have injuries as Sam Laporta goes down. If an Amon-Ra misses another game or two, it's like you can't. Yeah, and I know it's not something that's like, oh, Booner, you can just fix it like that. It's just like you have to find a way to stay healthy. It's like, and I'm sure they're doing everything they can, but it's just.
It seems they're happening at just bad times. And what's causing it? Is it the turf? You know?
That's a big question, brother. That was in the chat. Do they have the same turf on the practice field?
No, they don't.
So their practice
grass,
field.
Right?
Yeah, Amon-Ra's talked about how he loves practicing on the practice field because it's grass, it's soft, it's natural. But who knows? I mean,
makes you think, yeah.
Weird thing.
But even then, there's like, to me, I think of different things like Brad or Dan Campbell. Like, I know they mentioned that, and Amon-Ra mentioned on his podcast one time, and his brother said it too. Was like, you guys hit like way more than everyone else, and there's a side of it to where, yeah, it helps out your team in some aspects, but is that actually why you have an injury list of 20 guys on the team? And I'm not saying that's it. I'm just I'm trying to think of why the Detroit Lions have a list of 20 guys every single week on an injury report list, and other teams have 2 or 3 when we're playing them.
I'm gonna be honest. I would hate to be the opposing team, like not knowing what's going. Like, having
that's true as well.
9 starters on their injury report or whatever the number is. If it's legal gamesmanship, they're doing it the right way and they're messing with all the fans' heads.
Yeah, so I mean they're doing a good job doing it though. Let me tell you guys though real quick about the Detroit Lions or Woodward Sports Lions postgame show. Want to bring that up to you guys here so you guys do not miss out on that. Look at that. It is Tom Matters Way, Sam Stick Day, directly after all Lions games. Make sure you guys tune in. We're going to be drinking Kool-Aid after my Kool-Aid videos will be on those. Everything you guys need to know after a Lions win, make sure you guys tune in. And if there is a loss, you guys still want to tune in on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
I want it.
But you never told me about your cat milking days in Motown.
What's that?
Nothing.
Cat milking days. I don't know. Is someone saying that in the chat? What's happening?
No, that was a Meet the Parents quote.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, bro.
Jeez. Movie connoisseur.
What can I do? But Taylor Decker, he practiced full today. Was it Ragnow? He had the practice off. This is just a rest. Amon-Ra St. Brown was back full go. And he was talking. I got a video we're going to show you. We're going to show you a little later the show of Amon-Ra. He's back. He's ready to go. He wants to play Sunday. He's excited. He knows about this Bucs defense. He's not taking them lightly, but he's ready to go. And that adds so much, especially if Sam Laporta doesn't play.
Full practice.
I'm okay just as long as one of those two.
Can we throw up that injury report there real quick, Jaylen?
Maybe.
Because there's a handful of guys that didn't practice.
Hello.
It's crazy to me.
What you got, Nick?
Broder, are you thinking it's James Mitchell or Brock Wright? I mean, obviously Brock Wright's like the main guy, but do you think Mitchell could have a big game as well with the Laporta injury if he does not play on Sunday?
I don't know if it's a big game, but he doesn't have the type of relationship, comfort, rhythm with Jared Goff. But he is a weapon, or at least I thought he was going to be more of a weapon this year. So I know it's tough. Coming back from injury, he might not be able to give you much. We'll see. It's going to be the Brock Wright show if Laporta is hampered at all.
Here's the injury report, though. You want to throw that back up there, Jaylen? It's a thick one, man. Brian Branch, ankle, no practice. Jahmyr Gibbs, hamstring, no practice. Jonah Jackson, ankle, no practice. Zonovan Knight, shoulder. I mean, it just goes on. The Sam Laporta one really took us all. I feel like James Mitchell, no practice. Emmanuel Mosley, obviously. Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, Khalil Dorsey. Let's go, Broder.
Khalil!
I love seeing Khalil Dorsey full practice. Just take him off the list at this point.
Right?
He's back. I wonder why they have a guy like him still on the list if he's gone back-to-back full practice.
I wonder why they have Emmanuel Mosley still on the list. He's out for the year. I think
they have to throw him on IR before they can take him off.
Maybe that's it.
But Khalil Dorsey...
Maybe they have to keep him on that list until he's taken off the 21 or his 21 days.
53-man on Sunday.
He gets put on the 53-man. Who knows?
Yeah, that's his injury. I'm just happy Khalil Dorsey's back. I'm not happy to see so many no practices because there was a report today that Mike Evans was back at practice, limited practice today. So just like you said yesterday, Broder, you mentioned yesterday you feel like he's going to play. It was kind of more so just a precautionary. The Morning Woodward show this morning kind of talked about it. I put in their chat kind of telling them like, hey, I think he's playing, but he's definitely playing, and that's going to be a piece. And with Brian Branch potentially out, There's some issues there. We're going to have some issues. All right, Broder, tell us a little bit about Mark White when we come back.
You want me to?
Yes.
I will.
Hey, please do. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a little bit more.
Yeah, they are. Because when you're buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. So sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That's exactly what Mark White and Associates can offer with the minute-by-minute listing agreement. So if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. Again, that's markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Just in time for football. Glorious. Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check us out online at www.gloriouscanna.com.
Glorious, gassy,
And aggressive.
Aggressive. The Detroit Lions are gassy and aggressive, just like Matthew Broder.
No.
I would like to be gassy and aggressive. If they are, if the Lions are, I want to be like the Lions.
Gassy and aggressive is crazy.
Nick, aren't you glad you don't get paid by the word? Because then you'd want to say those glorious twice. You give it up with the drop. This is a bad joke. Let's move on.
That was bad. Yeah, move on from that.
I like this, Broder.
And he's lying too. He's just trying to be nice.
Once it came out, I was like, not my best.
He's just trying to teacher's pet right now. Don't like that.
Go,
Detroit Lions over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're gonna preview it a little bit more here. My thoughts on this game here, Broder. First thoughts on this.
Yes.
After yesterday, thinking it was
serious.
a trap game and things kind of turned here, and someone put in the comment section and straightened me out a little bit and said, "Booner, lock back in."
Lock in, Boone.
Lock in, Booner. And I did, and I thought about it the last 24 hours. What's happening in this game on Sunday is you're competing for the number 2 and number 3 seed. One of the two.
Yeah.
Tampa, and I get people, maybe Tampa won't get that. Tampa's probably going to win their division, right?
They very well might.
So you're sitting there, and it's, all right, if you need a tiebreaker, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys end up with the same record, and probably won't, like we expect the Lions not to, but if they do, this is the game. This is a huge football game, in my opinion. I truly believe this is like a seeding game. And at the end of the day, think about what team we played week 2. Seattle Seahawks, a team we're playing right now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Those are two teams you potentially could see in the playoffs this year.
Gotta have them.
And you can't lose to Seattle, and then when it's time to step up another playoff team in your conference, you can't go on the road and drop another. You can't go 0-2 versus 2 playoff teams in your conference. That'll look bad. You've already built this momentum up. You're there. People are talking about you. You can't start 0-2 versus conference playoff teams. Teams that you're probably going to have a chance to play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Can't happen.
Yeah.
That's what went through my head. Whoever the chatter, what person in the chat was yesterday that locked me in, straightened me out, thank you. Because now it's realistic.
Yeah, fair. You got to take take care of business earlier in the season like this. Especially Tampa Bay, they are playing well, but they weren't picked so high before the season. So whether they're better than expected or not, you got to go take care of business. They're vulnerable. They're playing well, but they're vulnerable. They got Baker Mayfield, and although he's playing well, he still has flaws to his game. This team still has flaws, and you got to exploit those. You got to force Baker to make passes in the pocket. You can't let him get out too often.
Yes.
You got to be contained. Aiden Hutchinson, Charles Harris, whoever's rushing off the edge, John Kaminsky or Lee Mannion, whoever's coming from the inside, they gotta control their gaps so that Baker can't get out and still have room to throw. You got to make him throw from the pocket and let your cornerbacks do the work. Let Cam Sutton be there. Let Jerry Jacobs be there. Let your safeties make the difference. But you got to let Baker beat you.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's a fair point too. And on the other side of the ball, that defense, Ben Johnson said, we're going to probably talk a little bit about Ben Johnson in the clip segment. Ben Johnson, I saw your tweet about it, I believe it was, where was it your tweet where he walked out and no one asked about the Tampa Bay offense or defense, and he was like, listen, this is a good Tampa Bay defense. Yeah, these guys, we talked about it yesterday. They returned 8 of 11 starters, I believe, on that defense, that Super Bowl defense. So no one asked about it, and Ben Johnson even was like, "Hey, like
everyone asked about the trick plays."
It reminds me to dude, the fact that we're missing out on this stuff, and we talk about, hey, could this be a trap game? The Lions are gonna come? These coaches right now, they're 10 times locked in to where if you guys don't ask a defensive question, they're even calling you guys they're like you, Broder. They're like, you guys didn't ask about this defense. So you know that they're dialed in on this Tampa team, and they're keeping these guys locked in. Because if they're keeping you, Broder,
call me out.
If they're keeping you locked in and the reporters locked in, I know sure as hell they're keeping these players in the locker room locked in, which makes me very excited.
Yeah,
that gets me blood flowing in here. I have no Kool-Aid today, but
Boone. You got to get some more Kool-Aid. But you're so right. And I'm glad you picked up on that. I didn't even put all those pieces together. They're aware of everything. They're 10 steps ahead of everybody right now. And I'm not saying that means they're going to win every game, but they're locked in. They are dialed in. And you can tell from talking to these players, this game doesn't seem too big for them or too little. They're not looking forward to the Ravens game, or they're not looking forward to Monday Night Football. They know about this defense. They know about this offense. They know the things that they need to do, whether it's on the defensive end or offensive end. I mean, this team, Vita Vea is a beast right in the middle of that defensive line. You got 3 linebackers. You got Devin White, Shaq Barrett, and Levante David. Those are 3 very, very good linebackers. They play this 3-4 defense that I believe it's different than the defenses they've seen, at least the primary defense that the teams have run so far this season. So they're getting new looks. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, he talked about the secondary, the defensive backfield, and how they got corners who are quick, they're long, they're good. Jamel Dean, I'm blanking on who the other corners are, but they got talent on that defense, and they're a defensive-minded team. They like to run the ball, even though it hasn't been their most successful part of their game yet. I think Baker is their number 2 rusher, but quarterbacks running are vulnerable. The Lions are vulnerable to the quarterback rush. So
that's the secondary: Jamel Dean, Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Carlton Davis, Ryan Neal. He looks like he's questionable right now. They just have in their linebacker crew: Devin White, Levante David, Shaquille Barrett. They just have that defense has veterans, and they have that same core from that Super Bowl team. So I don't want to just sit here and be like it's a win.
No,
and I feel like there are some people who are thinking that and they're kind of taking that approach. And maybe there's not. Maybe I was locked into that a couple days ago, and kind of switched it over. But I didn't want to ask this question, Broder, because we're a little early in the week. It's still Thursday. We're going to do our stuff tomorrow. I did want to see on both sides of the ball, kind of like a prediction, who me and you each thought on offense and on defense. We'll go offense first, like that guy who's going to have a big game is. So I'll let you go first.
For Lions on offense? For
the Lions. Who on this Detroit Lions offense? Because it seems like each week, obviously Monty's been doing some things, but it seems like there's been Josh Reynolds last week. Mm-hmm. You've seen Monty. Week 1, you saw some things from Gibbs. Sam Laporta a couple times. He's been huge. Who's going to be that guy, I feel like, versus Tampa defense, who's going to shine and, be that difference to, really dominate the game?
Yeah, I'm so close to wanting to just say Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a gamer. He comes back and he's gonna go. He's gonna catch 12 or 13 balls, which he very well might. But Now I'm deciding between Kohloff or Josh Reynolds. There's something about Josh Reynolds, the way he's playing. I think he can do this consistently. The only thing holding me back is it was the Packers game where he got no targets. And I know that's just how the game went, but like I have a hard time with that. I think he's going to go out and have maybe his biggest day of the season. Is that 100 yards? Is that 6 or 7 catches for 100, 110? I don't know. But I just feel good about Josh Reynolds going into this game.
I like that. Your first answer, I thought you were about to go Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Is that where you're going?
That's who I was going. And I wanted to go Josh Reynolds. But if we do think about it, Amon-Ra had a week off, right? And he sat there. He's a guy that doesn't like to take time off. He would rather, like, if he could, he would play every single game. There's guys who don't really care, like, injured. All right. Amon-Ra probably was like, I need to be on the field. I hate this. Yeah. The fact that he was done for a week, and now you're playing this Tampa team, he's going to be hungry, a chip on his shoulder, because he's fallen. What do we talk about with the all-pro stuff? Amon-Ra St. Brown fell behind a little bit because in wide receivers, you need the stats. He missed a game.
Yes.
Congratulations,
St. Brown,
Amon-Ra St. Clown.
He's about to have a game. I think this is going to be a huge 100 plus yard, maybe 120 game from him. 7-8 catches. Whoa, I just lost track here. Josh Reynolds.
Yes.
Josh Reynolds obviously had that big game last week. I think it's maybe a little less from Josh Reynolds. Amon-Ra St. Brown steps up, and he becomes that right back to where he left off, and he's going to have a huge, and I'm very convinced, he's going to have a huge game. 120, 125 yards, 8 catches.
I love that.
Touchdown as well.
And
lock that in.
Jesse Adams makes a good point here in the chat, and we're going to talk about Jared Goff in more detail in the next segment. And I don't even know if we're going to touch on it, but he's a much better quarterback historically at home versus on the road. Again, they went into Kansas City and they took care of business. But Jesse Adams says one thing people are overlooking is Goff isn't the best when teams blitz like most QBs, but Todd Bowles' defensive scheme is they love to bring crazy blitzes on third down.
That's interesting.
So there's a little chess game going on. That's a good call out, Jesse. Thank you.
One of the St. Brown points that I wanted to hit on, Booner, you hit it pretty hard there. He missed a game. He's going to come out super gassy and aggressive with this one. But the reason I think he's going to have a big game is he didn't play last week with J-Mo back. He's going to be expanding that field, and St. Brown's going to have that middle wide open to cook, and I believe he will. And with J-Mo extended snaps compared to last week, now that he's more comfortable, and Sam Laporta out, we're going to expect St. Brown, huge game. I'm going to be right there betting it with you, Boom, too.
I thought the same thing this morning, actually, was no one has brought up the point of J-Mo last week. Yeah, he struggled, didn't get a ton of, he struggled a little bit.
But
Amon-Ra St. Brown was not in that game.
And look at how
they are able to kind of focus a little bit more on J-Mo or Josh Reynolds. And obviously, they might have actually focused a little bit more. I guess I have to go watch the film. Might have focused a little bit more on J-Mo, the safety over, because Josh Reynolds had that huge game last Sunday.
I thought you were going with
that. So when you really break that down, when you have a full set of weapons here, when all these guys are healthy, think about even when Jahmyr Gibbs, if he plays Sunday, we haven't seen this with all of these guys back yet. Last week, there was no Jahmyr. There was no Amon-Ra. Think about an offense with J-Mo, Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Reynolds, or Kohloff Raymond on the field all at once, and Sam Laporta.
There we go.
I mean, what are we talking about? We haven't seen that yet. When we see that, this offense is going to be scary. Jared Goff is going to have a lot of options.
A lot.
Let's hit defense real quick. Defensive player, because I have one here. Can I go first?
Please.
I don't want you to steal this one. You didn't really steal the last one. You know how I'm going to go? Hasn't had a big game yet. I think this might be it, because what did you talk about? Make Baker make plays, right?
Yes.
Make Baker throw the ball. Make him throw it over top. Guess who's over top? Kirby Joseph. This is a Kirby Joseph game.
Good call.
Give me a Kirby Joseph interception on Sunday. I want to see that. I want to see him step up and make plays. Do what Brian Branch was doing. If Brian Branch is out, go out there. Do what you did last year to end the year. I want to see a Kirby Joseph big game. Remember the last time I asked for a big game? Who it was from? Jerry Jacobs. And guess what he did? He went out and got 2 interceptions. Kirby, give me one. Let's go, Kirby. I love you.
That's a great call.
That's my defensive one.
That's a great call. I just got goose talking about Kirby like that. He hasn't had his breakout game yet this season. He's been good.
He just hasn't had that Aaron Rodgers breakout, 2 interceptions, or even just 1 interception. He hasn't done that yet, and we all know how great he is. He is such a good player. I was going to let you go.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something after that.
No, he's just such a great player, man.
I'm going to go with a player I want to have a big game versus know it's going to happen. I do think this game is kind of suited for him because of how Tampa is going to try to run the ball and maybe get some passes over the middle to intermediate routes. That's a rookie linebacker, Jack Campbell. I don't know. There's something we've been talking about him a lot the last couple of weeks.
Missile.
The coaches are getting more and more confident in him. And I know the snap counts haven't been as high as we would like them, but there's just something about going into this week. I think Jack Campbell's going to have a big game. What then does that mean? An interception? I don't know. I think it means maybe 7-8 tackles versus the 2-3-4 he's had.
I don't hate that.
I just think he's going to be a difference maker in the game.
I wanted to pick Alex Anzalone, but it was a situation to where if we're like, hey, who's going to kind of be that guy to step up and have a big game? Alex Anzalone's been so good the first 5 weeks. You can't even give him in that. He's been so consistent, and I can't put him in that category.
I don't know what more he can. Like he's had a double-digit tackles. He's had turnovers, takeaways. Alex Anzalone is playing great. And by the way, I don't know if you guys all saw, his family is home and they are safe.
Thankfully, man.
And it got reported like within an hour of our show ending yesterday, and then official this morning when Alex Anzalone confirmed it on his Twitter. But they're back. They're from Florida, so he's going to see them down at the game.
That's awesome.
Maybe that's the reason Anzalone has a monster game.
Maybe he does. Maybe he has another double-digit.
I never thought about that.
I think that'll be back-to-back. I'm pretty sure last week was his double-digit sack week, or tackle week. So I think that's it.
He's a stud, but glad to see his family's home. We are going to we're going to get into this Jared Goff conversation when we get back. Got some heated stuff to talk about, but Booner, first, you were just talking about defense. Tell them where the best defense is.
Guardian Alarm. Yes, customized solutions from real experts. That is Guardian Alarm. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24 professional monitoring. Guardian Alarm. Just call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology that is backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that has been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Look at 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call the number and get Guardian Alarm.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, dry-aged beef, and Wagyu beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Just visit the Steak Shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. They got grab-and-go steaks, or go online at fairwaypacking.com.
All right, baby, we're back.
Woodward
Nights with Booner and Broder. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button. Let's get to 50 by the end of this segment. Tell a friend to come tune into the show. If you're watching baseball playoffs, if you're watching the Red Wings, if you're watching Thursday night football, send the link out to these people.
Come on.
And get them in here and watch it with us. Everyone has a cell phone. Watch it on the cell phone. Watch the game on the TV. We love it.
You're going to get updates like the one Nick's going to provide us right now. Check this out.
Yeah, these goalies are absolutely killing it. Red Wings are keeping on the pressure. Hopefully they can net one before the second period is over. Billy Husso looks like a dog on our end as well. So shout out Billy.
I love to hear that.
That's key. The goaltending. Billy Husso taking another step forward. That's going to be a key to them taking that next step into playoff contention. Love to hear that, Nick. Thank you.
Real quick, too, we were going to talk about Jared Goff in this whole Jared Goff segment. But before we do that, Jaylen, can you throw up the Tampa Bay?
Ooh.
They're wearing some I'm not going to lie. I'm a little jealous. This is some nice uniforms. The creamsicle uniforms. Look at those things, man.
That is old school, and it is pretty.
I hate that it has to be versus the Lions, though.
I know.
I hate it.
Do you actually think they're going to play a little better because of those?
Dude, I mean, I'm convinced. I do know is when you play sports, dude, if you feel clean in a uniform, you play a little bit better. You play with a little bit more confidence. That might.
So fresh and so clean.
I just hate that I have to like that the jerseys. Like I have to be like, man, those are sick jerseys.
I know.
More pressure as well, though.
I wish
you can't lose in the creamsicle, so the pressure is on. Yeah, the pressure's on for him.
Almost like going to an away game and getting a loss.
John F. Lawrence says, "Bring back the black uniforms." I love those black uniforms.
Yes,
man.
yes.
I posted them on Woodward a couple times, and it seems everyone wants those back.
I want it. I want it. I
want the black uniforms with the new alternate helmets. I don't know. Would you guys like the Phillies? What is it? The baby blue.
I love it.
I love them. I'm a big fan.
I think it's sweet.
Big fan. Well,
Nick, you got me with Jaylen. He's trying to hit us with something.
No, you're stuck in there, dude.
Well, I was gonna say I have like 4 like black jerseys at home. I got a Dre Bly jersey, a Roy Williams jersey, Calvin Johnson, and a Kevin Jones.
Oh, man. Virginia Tech's finest.
Yeah,
wow.
34.
Man. By the way, what jersey are you wearing right now?
I got a Willie Beeman jersey. I'm not gonna stand up because I may get stuck, but. Any given Sunday, best sports movie ever, football movie. So
let's go.
Stay beaming.
Yeah. All right, fellas, let's get into it. There are some things around Woodward Sports today about Jared Goff, and I think the heavies might have talked about it. I don't know, Nick, if you, I wasn't able to tune in the full time to the heavies, so I don't know if they talked about it. If anyone in the chat was watching the heavies, I know they probably talked a little bit about the Jared Goff situation here. Now, this is the main point with it all. First of all, Broder, I think you and I both can agree that Jared Goff, right now,
at this moment,
the way he is playing right now in the NFL, the National Football League, Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback right now. Statistically wise, he is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, correct?
Correct.
And I think we can all agree on that.
Yes.
Now, when you start to, there's the conversations that were happening today with obviously paying him and is he up there with the Josh Allen and these different. I don't know if you went back and watched these conversations.
I didn't. You were texting me, and I have a little context of what they were talking about.
I want to kind of go to you first here because me and you have both been very vocal that, and we've had segments that we've talked about Jared Goff being top 5.
Yes.
I have reels out on Instagram of me breaking down the stats of Jared Goff of why he's a top 5 to 7 quarterback right now in the NFL. So I full-heartedly agree with that. But the other argument in the side of the thing here, when you're looking at building a Lions roster long-term, things do change a little bit. So, Broder, I want to kind of hear your thoughts, and you break that down, and then I'll kind of get into some of these things here.
Yeah, and if you're talking contract, if you're talking comparison to other players, feel free to chime in and steer me in a certain direction. But I do believe that Jared Goff is playing like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And I'm not saying he's the top 5 most talented quarterbacks in the league. I'm not saying he's more talented than Josh Allen or Justin Herbert or Trevor Lawrence, but I would take him. I would take him right now. The way he's playing, the way he's able to lead this offense, the way he fits in with this Detroit team, Jared Goff is playing like a top 5 quarterback. And I believe if the MVP votes went out today, he would get a vote, if not multiple votes. He's playing that well, and he's got a team, the Detroit Lions, at 4-1. They're at the top of their division. They're trending towards a high seed in the playoffs. You give it to that quarterback. The MVP storylines are associated with that award. The whole season, the story about the season, the fact that it's with the Lions and it could be their first playoff berth, maybe a first playoff win, maybe. Who knows how far they take it, but when you do those things for an organization that hasn't won since 1991, dude, like that goes into that. It's why Andy Reid is so low on the Coach of the Year rankings.
At that point, because when you're great for so long, it's like LeBron James and the MVP talk. It's like they're just going to stop putting you in it because you've been so good. Right.
So the story behind it, they're not going to give it to him again.
Jared Goff, like even now, I think if the season ended, and to your point, and I'll kind of debunk that a little bit to where the storyline, I think you're correct with that. And that's why I think if you ended it now, I don't think Jared Goff would have a vote yet. But I'm on your side because if you think about it, like right now, Tua, storyline's there, and Tua's been elite. Let's say you just get 5 players, right, to vote. Tua, storyline's elite, and he's been playing very good. Josh Allen, he's on a great football team still, and he's been putting up a ton of numbers. You have to throw him in that top 5 MVP, correct? Patrick Mahomes will always be in the top 5. He will always get a vote. And then you go, what? Let's say Christian McCaffrey gets a vote. Let's just throw that out there because he's like, if we stopped it now, historical, now you have that 5th one there. To me, numbers-wise, who has better numbers right now? If you stop the season right now, Brock Purdy has better numbers on the 5-0 49ers.
I'm glad you said that.
Jared Goff. Brock Purdy has more passing yards. He has the same amount of touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. He has a better quarterback rating. Like, he's the best quarterback on the best team, and he's put more numbers up than Jared Goff. So there's that to it. So that would be my 5th guy if you did it right now. Now, Broder, if the Detroit Lions go out and win 13, 14 games, and Jared Goff is sitting up there statistically wise with some of these guys, he will be in that conversation. He probably won't win it. There's going to be guys like Josh Allen who have the same record, same numbers, but he has the rushing. He has probably more touchdowns, all of that with it. That's where there's that. And when they talked about it on BDE today, there's a gap from certain quarterbacks. Like, there's just that. And you probably agree with me on that. There's that Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, like that level where a team, you bring a guy in, and you don't need to give him a great team around him. He is the team. You win because of him.
Yes.
There's guys like Jared Goff to where it's been proven. What's the stat that I think I texted you the stat, or I texted to someone today. Jared Goff has only made the playoffs 3 out of his 8 seasons in the NFL so far. Josh Allen, 4 out of the 5 seasons he's been in the NFL. And it's going to be 5 or 6 this year, I'm sure. So there's that difference of quarterbacks. And I get it. We all love Jared. That's why I started this whole segment with, I've been on the Jared Goff bandwagon all season long that he's a top 5 to 7 quarterback in the NFL. But the conversation that was had today was Josh Allen, or can Jared Goff be that guy for your organization?
Yeah.
He can't be the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allen. So that's where you get kind of in that point to where if you pay him $50 million, if you pay him to what these guys are getting, that's where you start having those conversations to where maybe you can't surround him with the players that you need to win. And maybe Brad Holmes can because he can draft. But there is that caveat to where there's these quarterbacks up here, there's this level quarterbacks, there's this level quarterbacks, and then there's the bad quarterbacks. And Jared Goff's here. He's where if you give him a team, he can win you a Super Bowl. But he's not the team, and he can't win a Super Bowl by himself with any team.
100%.
So that was my kind of debunkment of today's conversation, and I think me and you agree a lot with that.
I don't disagree with you, and I think all those facts are accurate. But when we're talking about an award, when we're talking about MVP, when we're talking about rewarding a quarterback for more than just the eye test or you're comparing, Josh Allen is a much better quarterback, a more talented quarterback than Jared Goff. When you were going through your MVP list, right now I would vote both Brock Purdy and Jared Goff ahead of Josh Allen in the MVP. Josh Allen is a better quarterback than both of those guys, but both of those are more valuable to their team right now. There
was a conversation today on BDE that was like, would you rather have, like, if Jared Goff was on the Bills right now, the Bills would be that much better? That is false.
That's tough. Yeah, that's a tough one.
That is false. If you gave Josh Allen this year, he had Brian Dable before. If you give Josh Allen Ben Johnson in this offense right now, he would be putting up. If he had Ben Johnson,
that'd be scary.
If he had an offensive coordinator,
dude, what if McDermott gets fired?
We didn't even talk about that hot seat, but that's where I'm at with this. Like, Jared Goff is a top 5, top 7 quarterback right now.
Yeah,
done deal, seal it, ship it. He is. But when we start talking about the future to this team, there's $50 million. There's going to be questions like, who can you keep? Who can you not?
Yeah.
You can't not keep guys and get rid of Penei Sewell and get rid of Amon-Ra St. Brown and Kirby Joseph and Aiden Hutchinson and only keep half of those guys and then be like, Jared Goff's still going to be that same guy.
Yeah.
He's going to go out there and be Patrick Mahomes and win you games.
Of course not. Of course not.
Nick, I know you kept raising your hand over there. I apologize.
No, I agree with you. Quick little studio update here. 1-1. Daniel Sprung got the Red Wings on the board. New Jersey goes to the power play, gets the goal back, one of the Hughes brothers. So 1-1. The Wings did that a lot last year. Hopefully they do not keep that up, getting a goal and then giving one up right after it. So
give one.
Back to you, boys.
So I don't know. That's where I'm at with the Jared Goff stuff. I'm still on board with it. If they extend him, I'm fine with it. 40, 45 million
for the right price.
The right price. That's the biggest thing. Is the right price.
And let me read you this a little segment from the Jared Goff article I wrote, June 22nd, just the last paragraph, 2 quick sentences. Said, no, I'm not claiming Jared Goff is on the same level with the likes of Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, Allen, or Lawrence, but I genuinely believe that the Lions, with Goff under center, will outperform 2 or 3 of those QB's teams next season. And this is in context to MVP votes, getting up in the top 5. He's performing better than the Bills, better than the Jaguars, and better than the Chargers to this point. Actually, the Bengals, too. He's better than Burrow. He might not be performing better than... He's not performing better than Allen.
Freddie's saying Goff is more consistent than Allen. I mean, come on.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay.
If you want to talk turnovers and stuff, they basically had the same amount this year. Allen had one game with 3 interceptions, which skewed his numbers a ton. We can't sit here and just keep saying that Jared Goff could make this Bill team. We can't do that.
We're not going to do that.
That is the wrongest statement of all time.
Wrong.
Jaylen?
Me and you have this Josh Allen thing going on, whatever, but if you trade him and put him here, he's going to be a top 2 quarterback. I trust me, you know what I mean?
The O-line?
He's going to go crazy.
The run game?
It's what do you he's 6'4", he can run. You put Goff in Buffalo, they'll win, but they won't do much.
Freddie, you don't believe that. Put that in the chat, Freddie. You don't believe that.
Jared Goff and Stephon Diggs being anything close to what Allen and Diggs are.
Yeah.
The arm difference is just too much going on.
Getting out of the pocket, being able to move around. Freddie, shout out Freddie too. Freddie, listener, always in here every night. Shout out. But Goff is greater than Allen. You just don't believe that, putting that in the chat. No one believes that. If you truly, you don't believe that. You do not believe that Jared Goff is a better. You don't believe it. You don't believe it. Give Josh Allen this offensive line, and I hate that this kind of sounds like it's a Goff hate.
No.
But it's not. That's why I preemptively I just saw this on BDE today, and it actually, because you guys know I picked Josh Allen to win the MVP this year.
You did.
So anyone around this network who would really get mad about it was the Josh Allen thing is I'm a Josh Allen guy.
Yeah.
I picked him to be. That was my MVP this season. So that's just. Come on.
No worries. No, I see what you're saying.
Well, come on.
It's hard to do these hypotheticals. Any quarterback with Ben Johnson in this offensive line, I'm not going to say any quarterback. The chances of a quarterback playing better behind this offensive line and Ben Johnson are huge. But that doesn't mean that everyone can do it. Jared Goff you still have to lead the team, and that's what he's doing. I love it. But Booner, I believe you got to tell him.
Yes.
About that Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness, baby. That's where Josh Allen goes.
Oh, for sure.
To throw those deep balls to Stephon Diggs. That's Planet Fitness. It is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. Even me, Booner. That is right. At Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms, cleaned by Nick himself in the sound booth, that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of that for just $1 down and $10 a month. No commitment. That's through October 13th. That's $1 down and $10 a month. No commitment. That is over at Planet Fitness. Where? Your fitness is essential.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Premier Pet Supply You got to go to Premier Pet Supply because it's when it's your pet. You just don't settle. You give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. They're family owned and operated for over 30 years. They've got 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. So Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. Find them at www.premierpetsupply.com.
And we're back, baby. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, joined by Matthew Broder. Jaylen and Nick in the booth here with us as always.
Let's go.
And we're gonna get going. We're gonna keep some Lions things rolling here a little bit because Broder was in the locker room today. And before we actually talk about the locker room, hit that like button for us.
Nice call.
Smack that like button for us.
Smack that all on the floor.
Hit it for us. Make sure you guys hit subscribe if you guys have not already. Tell a friend about the show. Share it to people right now while you're watching Thursday Night Football and the Detroit Red Wings. Hopefully win it tonight because I think New Jersey's on a power play, correct?
How many penalties?
Yeah, Husso, big stop. So 1-1.
1-1 still.
1-1 Wings, 0-0 Braves Phillies.
Rhett Carlson said, wow, Husso is keeping us in it.
And we got Pistons are losing by...
We're preseason.
Yeah. Wait, Cade's not playing and someone else isn't playing?
Jaylen
Marcus
and Bogey.
Yeah.
Pistons are down by 12.
12.
With I don't know how much time left. They don't even put the time up anymore.
Wow.
It's preseason. They're still clock management. They're still getting used to it.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yes.
Got a chance to talk to him in the locker room today. He had some good stuff to say about the Bucs defense, about trick plays, about getting back on the field. Pardon?
I haven't heard any of this.
So this is reaction for you. This is you put it on YouTube. First time reaction. Booner on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Blah, 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 blah. But the one I want to show you first is Amon-Ra St. Brown talking about the Bucs defense. And I channeled back to Booner in the original segment. It might have been number 2 about Ben Johnson and this coaching staff. He's got the players ready to go. Even if the media isn't asking about the Bucs defense, they're game planning and they're on top of this. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, who was injured last week, had this to say about the Bucs defense.
They're a stingy defense. They're one of the better defenses in this league. Their coordinator, head coach Todd Bowles does a great job of coaching those guys. They send pressure. They know what they do best. Those corners are long, man. They got long arms for the most part. They can run. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for us. But I think our coaches are putting together a pretty good plan. So I'm excited for Sunday.
Yeah, so there we go. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's very analytical in how they're dissecting this defense. Obviously, he's not going to give too much strategy, but he's well aware of how good this secondary is. Booner, what do you think about that?
First thing I take away from that clip right there is everyone in the chat right now, listeners, do you guys hear what he said at the end there? Did you hear that? He said, I'm excited for Sunday.
Yes.
That man is playing on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown will be suited up playing for the Detroit Lions on Sunday. The injury's out the door now, it sounds like. Sounds like he's just a full go. He's ready to go. I do think, though, he's not wrong with the secondary. We keep talking about it, Broder. This is an elite secondary. These are guys, and I'm going to pull it up again. Antoine Winfield.
Stud.
Carlton Davis.
Good.
Jamel Dean.
Stud.
Jamel Dean. These are legit dudes.
Well, a lot of people in Detroit wanted Jamel Dean before Cam Sutton, or when we were talking about cornerbacks. Jamel Dean was one of those. He got paid. He was a free agent, right? So he got paid by the Bucs. He's a real deal. And Antoine Winfield, he's from that same DNA as Patrick Surtain, that former NFL dad.
Antoine Winfield, the Viking legend.
These are guys, and I believe they were all on that Super Bowl team. These are guys who have experience. They know what it's like. He knows what he's matching up against. He knows, and I think, like you said, he's very calculated, and he's going to be ready to go. What did he say? What did he say before the Packers game? Do you guys remember this? With Jair Alexander, he basically was like, "I hope he plays because I want to go up against the best, and I want to beat the best, and I want to put up numbers against the best."
Yes,
it was not word for word, but that was just kind of what he said. But he mentioned, he was like, "I don't care if Jair's playing. I want to go up I'm going to go up against the best and still be great."
Wild.
These guys this is a good secondary. These are dudes.
How about this? Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't even believe that the offense has hit its peak. He thinks they still have room to grow, still have room to be better. And we got a clip of him talking about that offense and them still having room to get better.
I think we've been doing pretty well as an offense, but I think we can still be better. We have weapons on offense. We have guys. I didn't play last week, and we still put up 42 points. So, some people might say they don't even need me out there, but no, we have a bunch of weapons, and us as an offense, we feel like we can still be better, and that's the great part about this team and these coaches is always striving to be better, striving to be perfect. And I guess you can never be perfect, but you can always be better.
You can never be perfect, but you can always be better. Yeah. This is Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is a guy who 16 wide receivers drafted in front of him. You don't have to question that man's work ethic, especially after hearing that.
Yeah, you know what do we? Oh man, I keep going back earlier on the show.
You're blushing.
I am because, dude. First of all, Amon-Ra St. Brown knows who. No, I think he knows the Booner name.
Everyone does.
It's in his head.
I know people who are undefeated. I remember people who don't lose.
People who don't lose, especially Amon-Ra St. Brown. He doesn't want to be around losers.
No.
He wants to be around straight winners. And what's that? Who's that guy from National Treasure?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. I don't lose.
Darius Miles and Quentin Richardson.
Yes, and I don't lose. But listen, with Amon-Ra St. Brown, what did I say earlier today, Broder, as well? They haven't had all of these weapons on the field at one time yet. Nope. Not healthy. J-Mo, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Sam Laporta, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond. Did I miss anyone? Marvin Jones. Who am I missing? Am I missing anyone else? No.
Keeps going, yeah.
Elite. They have weapons. A lot of them might not be like grade A weapons, but those are great role players. These are legit dudes. And to his point, I think I'm kind of with him. It's like, hey, they can just keep getting better and better and better. Yeah. And you add J-Mo into the mix now, and then Jahmyr gets healthy, you add him into the mix. Ben Johnson's going to be able to do anything. He's going to have so many options. It's going to be a field day for him, and defenses are never going to know what's going to happen. They'll have no clue because, listen, you can run this for a few weeks with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then you switch something up and you're going at J-Mo, and then you're going to Josh Reynolds, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, David. There's nothing these defenses are going to be able to do when they get to their peak on offense. That's why I still believe, and it's the eye test. We talk about it all the time. It's the eye test, Broder. And that's watching this offense even with adding pieces in. This is a team this is a playoff team, a contending team with that offense. And when you have a guy like Jared Goff, top 7, you're a contender.
Booner, before we play the Josh Reynolds video, because this was part of the inspiration of my pick of an offensive player who could have a big D. Pause. Tell them about the pregame.
Jesus. Yes, I'll tell you guys about the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show. I believe the one and the only Jeff Ifrady Hollywood is in the chat right now. I just saw him chatting it up with some people in the WoodwardSports.com chat. But that is hosted by Jeff Ifrady. I will be on it this Sunday. I believe we're still going 9:30 to 11:30. If we change that, I will let you guys know. But that will be on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel where we're going to be breaking down the game, getting everything ready for it. Injuries before the game. Anything you need to know before the game, we will be there, and we will be live 9:30 to 11:30 on Sundays.
Boom. So, Jaylen, could you just roll that that Josh Reynolds video, please?
I mean, Josh is a beast. I think he's one of the more underrated, receivers in this league. He's able to. He's so long. He's able to make catches with his long arms. His stride is so finesse. He looks like he doesn't even running fast, but he's covering crazy amount of ground. He's so subtle in his movements. He's smart. I think that's what separates a lot of us in our room is we're smart players. In the run game, we got to do a bunch of different blocking schemes for us. In the pass game, adjustments that Jared makes. He does a great job of all that. And when the ball is near him, he makes plays. So we're glad to have him, and he's only getting better. I can't wait to see what as he progresses throughout this year, he's gonna have a monster.
I lost it at the end there.
Wow, as he progresses throughout the season, he's gonna have a monster year, or he's gonna be a monster.
I heard someone in the background going, "Man, you're so rich."
Of that.
I didn't know if you heard that. Some players were talking to each other like, "Yeah, you're so rich."
Usually there are guys who they walk in behind the media while we're in, or they try to distract. Just when Nick's doing a read, we're making faces at him. Yeah. We're trying to distract.
I thought it was funny. Yeah. I didn't even hear what Amon-Ra said at the end. So what did he say at the end there?
Basically, he covered a lot actually, and sort of my point to why I love that clip is because he didn't just give a very high level answer like. He's underrated, which I love that he said he's underrated. But he didn't just say, "Yeah, he's a great wide receiver." keep an eye out for him. He like went into depth about what he likes about his game. He's got these subtle movements. He's got these long strides. He doesn't look like he's as fast as he is, but he finds a way to get open. All these extra things. It shows someone like Amon-Ra St. Brown, he pays attention to details, and he's not just going to give you a compliment to give you a compliment, even if you're his teammate. He really believes this in Josh Reynolds, and we can see how he's played this season. It's showing up. Yeah,
and that's the thing with him too, is that's how he's gotten so good. It's the detail. Watch it, man. You just hit yourself in the head with the bat. I'm going to have to take that bat from you. No, it's just the details, though, with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, the catches at the end of practice. I'm sure the details of route, everything he does. And with Josh Reynolds, I think we're all starting to see it now is maybe people around the NFL and outside of Detroit are going to sit there and underrate Josh Reynolds, but I think we're all starting to see it a little bit more. You and I on the show, we talked about it preseason, how Josh Reynolds is a sneaky piece.
Yeah.
With J-Mo out, he's a sneaky piece. I think we might have said that he was going to be the, not MVP, but we have to go back and look at some of those awards, because I think we had Josh Reynolds in kind of an award where he's going to be that guy, that quiet piece that steps up. He's on pace for 1,000 yards, fellas. Josh Reynolds it's not like he's out here putting up a 600-yard season. No, he's on pace for 1,000 yards right now. He has been an elite wide receiver number 2 for this team when they needed it most. And now you add J-Mo in, and it just helps out that much more. And like I keep saying, we haven't seen all these guys, these wide receivers on the field at the same time. When you get those on a guy like Josh Reynolds, who's a 1,000-yard wide receiver, on the field with Amon-Ra St. Brown, who could be a 1,500-yard wide receiver, and then J-Mo, things open up for J-Mo a lot more. Yes, catch the ball, but still, once he starts doing that, Josh Reynolds helps this defense or offense way more than we think.
You know who could, J-Mo could learn from catching the ball. Aiden Hutchinson has more catches in his career than J-Mo right now at the moment.
Didn't need to do him like that.
What the fuck?
Guess how many players last year had 1,000 yards?
0.0. No, 23.
22.
Oh,
damn,
so
bro.
Josh Reynolds is, if he keeps his pace up, top 25 wide receiver stat-wise, receiving yards-wise in the NFL. That's what he's on track to do right now.
He just wants to be a regular. He wants to show up every night, kind of like everyone else wants to show up every night at the Hamlin Pub.
And before that, boys, I love the Hamlin Pub, but we have a quick studio update. 2-1 bad guys. Jack Hughes, the number 1 overall pick in 2019, is playing like it. He had an absolute snipe against Billy Husso.
Send it back. And send it back.
Back to you, boys.
Nick Castellanos. All right.
Shut up.
Strider,
no
Philadelphia
way.
Phillies tie the game.
What a call.
And Kadarius Toney touchdown. This all just happened that once.
Wings,
he is so jacked up right now, too.
Wings have an uphill battle in this one. Got to come out swinging in the third.
All right, here, let me tell you guys about Hamlin Pub, though, real quick. Have you guys ever wanted to be a regular at a bar? I have, and I'm going to be. We have just a place for you. Head over to Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports games or Michigan sports and NFL games, that is Hamlin Pub. Make sure you guys go visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Do you have football on the brain? Well, fall ushers in college and professional football, and this fall has already been awesome. It's also the perfect time to shop for your home and auto insurance, so shop it like a pro at Swiss Insurance. They cover Swiss. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. So ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com or call 248-800-4177.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share with a friend. We are here every single day night, 8 to 10 p.m., taking over Detroit sports in the nighttime. We're taking it over.
How about this? Kalamazoo just talking about he likes to get in the shorts of Broder and Booner. The shorts? Yeah, like I'm assuming he meant like real shorts.
What?
Okay.
Shout out.
What?
Our boy in the booth?
No.
Makes a lot of what?
No, the shorts on the Instagram and stuff. Shout out Kalamazoo.
Shout out, boys. You know we cooking it up. 24 hours from now, I will be on the beach eating seafood. Rum runnered up. Let's go, baby.
No clue what you just said.
He's like
Rum runner.
He's like 60 years old. What the hell was that?
What, rum runner?
No clue what you just said.
I got him on the beach. I can't
I'm
wait.
fired up, boys. Let's go.
Oh
Wings are
my
about to
gosh.
come back too. Back to you, boys.
Thanks for the studio. Thanks for the studio update over there from Nick in the sound booth. That was wild. All right, we're gonna talk about. We just talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown a little bit, Broder. And there was a video. We don't have the video. We were told that we can't play the video.
Yeah.
And I guess
there's some copyright issues, probably. We're the new show, so we don't want to even mess around.
Yeah, if we're the ones that gets the whole YouTube channel screwed, it's not
I'd
good
be sleeping right outside on Woodward Avenue, watching sports through the window if we got this show shut down.
I'll be back in my basement.
But it was Richard Sherman. It was, and maybe you know the context more, but it's around CeeDee Lamb, and like, is he a number one wide receiver? Yep. And then he goes off and he lists all these receivers, almost in like two different tiers.
A list here too.
Then take it over.
Let me get this list because I sent it out to someone today about literally every receiver that he talked about, and it's insane. And when he broke it down, he was like, obviously, okay, Broder, is CeeDee Lamb a tier 1 to you?
Ooh, that's tough.
Like, was Richard Sherman right on that aspect? He's not that number one guy. Because I agree with him on that. CeeDee hasn't showed up in he's put numbers up. He's been an all-pro guy.
He's been all-pro.
But if you're talking about Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, I'm not putting him in that name. There's tier 1 where it's 3 or 4 guys. I can't put CeeDee Lamb there.
You could put him in like tier 1C or tier E.
So that's kind of where I'm going.
When we do our top 10s, CeeDee Lamb's 7 or 8.
I mean,
he's not top 5.
Look who's
Cooper Kupp's better than him.
to him though. Like, look who's throwing to him.
That's fair, but
I don't care as much about the quarterback, but I put him in the same category as Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like you were saying, 1C, 1B, 1C. Like,
yeah,
I think they're both ahead of the Jaylen Waddles.
I think he's tier 2. I'm not going to go 1A, 1B, or 1C with them because Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson are a different level. Cooper Kupp's a different level. Some of these guys are Devontae Adams, different level. And then if I'm going 1A, 1B, I'm going Stephon Diggs, like a AJ Brown, maybe a Cooper Kupp in there. And then the next tier, like those are 6 guys that are already better than him. So if we're talking about that level, like Richard Sherman was basically saying, I can't do it.
Do you put Amon-Ra on that level?
He's in my top 10. He's like 9 or 10 for me.
I asked you, did you put him in that top tier?
Top 1 to tier 1?
1 tier.
No.
Okay.
It's Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
It's literally Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams. Next one down, Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp. Like, maybe I'm missing, but then
no, you're right.
Jamar Chase is in that Stephon Diggs level. That's where I do it. And then you take that next one down, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yes.
The problem was with Richard Sherman was when he did these tiers, he didn't really break down the tiers specifically, but he went on to go name people that CeeDee Lamb should be a part of the name for. So he basically broke it down. He went to tiers where Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel, and then he also said Terry McLaurin in that level there.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Which is already a problem. And I believe he might have actually said Mike Evans in that one as well. And then he paused and he goes, but then there's the next tier, that's the second tier, and he goes, that's Jaylen Waddle, Garrett Wilson, Tyler Lockett, T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Godwin. Listen, these guys are great wide receivers. Great wide receivers. You know what a lot of them have in common? They're the number 2s on their team.
Yeah.
The fact that he left Amon-Ra St. Brown off of that list, then Amon-Ra St. Brown is better than almost all of, not all of the top tier guys, but he's better than Terry McLaurin in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
You could have put him up there over Deebo Samuel as a wide receiver now.
I agree. As a wide receiver, I do.
There was a big turnout on Twitter. A lot of people were mad about that, and that Amon-Ra kind of got taken out of that. So
I put him just ahead of Garrett Wilson.
Me too.
And I have mad respect for Garrett Wilson.
I wonder if I can pull up my top 10 list.
Do it, and I'll start ranting. I love Tyler Lockett. He should not have been on that list in that category. Scary Terry, he's the next man down also. I love him. But I just don't think he's in that Jaylen Waddle category. Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb. Those guys, CeeDee.
Oh, here it is.
I try to think CeeDee with a better quarterback. Dak is Dak, but he's not a horrible quarterback. Kirk Cousins throws. Justin Jefferson's getting all his action from Kirk Cousins. Like he's performing. So I don't know. I think you put Amon-Ra St. Brown on any team in the NFL. I'm thinking Bears to the Bears. I don't know. You put him on just about any team in the NFL, Amon-Ra St. Brown performs. I don't know if that's the same way with CeeDee Lamb.
You're like, I'm thinking about the Bears.
I'm like, can Justin Fields get him the ball? I don't know, but I don't know if you put CeeDee Lamb's one of those number ones. I do believe he's the number one, but it's one of those streaky number ones where he can have 200 yards and 2 touchdowns on any given night, but then he can go 1 for 18. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he will always have 4 catches for 40 yards.
Yeah, consistent. And he puts numbers up. Here's my top 10 wide receivers. We did this. I don't know if you remember in the offseason, everyone at Woodward started posting them. And I think Morning Show might have done a segment. I think you even did one too. So if you want to look yours up.
Yes.
But there is one piece in here that I would change now for sure because of the season started and seeing how he has played. So number 1, I had Justin Jefferson. Which is fair. Number 2, Devontae Adams. Number 3, Tyreek Hill. Now you might be able to put Tyreek if we're talking about this season, but this is the off season. Tyreek Hill, number 3. Cooper Kupp at number 4, which I think is still fair. Jamar Chase, 5, still fair. Stephon Diggs, 6, fair. A.J. Brown, 7, fair. This is where it could have gone wrong a little bit, and maybe I could have thrown CD in, not here, but moved everyone up and throw CD in, as I did go DeAndre Hopkins at number 8. Because last year in the Cardinals, tough season, he still put numbers up. Now I probably would take him out of the top 10. I would probably move up to Amon-Ra St. Brown at number 8. Number 9, I would put Mike Evans at number 9. And then number 10, right now, to be honest, I probably would this is tough. I'd probably go like Keenan Allen.
Well, this year, Keenan Allen,
right? Yeah, like if I was
deserving.
adjusting my list right now, and I had to add one more player in the top 10 and take DeAndre Hopkins out, I would go Keenan Allen over CeeDee Lamb right now.
What about a DK Metcalf? He's having a pretty good year. Or Brandon? I know Brandon Ayuk.
I think Keenan's having a better year than
Keenan's having a
DK.
great year, especially now with what's his name's out for the season.
Yeah, I think he's having a better year as well than Brandon Ayuk.
Williams.
So that's my top 10, and I don't think that's a bad top 10.
No,
but I didn't even when I put it out in the offseason, I put honorable mention underneath, and I had CD, Jaylen Waddle, and Keenan Allen as honorable mention, and I'm moving Keenan up to the top 10. So CD and Waddle is my honorable mention. I'd probably put Ayuk in there right now.
Yeah, and my honorable mention I had DK Metcalf, Jaylen Waddle, and Amari Cooper. But Amon-Ra St. Brown was my number 10 ranked wide receiver. And CeeDee Lamb was my first. Actually, that too was number. CeeDee Lamb was my first honorable mention. 11.
So we're
on the same page. Yeah, regardless of
Richard Sherman's
Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown, Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I like that. I think that's a fair top 10.
Yeah.
Is anyone in the chat like, hey, you guys have a terrible top 10? Because I feel like that's like a fair one. Can you actually do a poll real quick, Jaylen? Is CeeDee Lamb a top 10 wide receiver? Just yes or no. Super simple. I think we just hit him with it straight. Just yes or no.
Yeah.
Because I would love to know if people think he's top 10.
Yeah, no chaser.
I have him at 11.
I got him in top 10.
You have him in the top 10?
How high?
Who are you taking out of the top 10 to put him in?
Give me your list again real quick.
So I'll give you mine. Mine was Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Tyreek, Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Diggs, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, and Keenan Allen.
This year, the only thing I don't like about that is the Keenan Allen one. But this year you can say because like he's healthy and he's balling, but like those two are very interchangeable to me.
Keenan Allen's averaging 108 yards per game.
This year,
to 70.
Randy Pieces. What about Penei Sewell? 100% catch rate.
I think Keenan Allen is like you can't take him out this year, but CeeDee Lamb, given like what they call for him, it's not on him. So I see why he's at 11, but I think you can slide him in there depending on like what happens. But his team is trash, so I get it. We'll see though in due time. What do you think, Nick?
I agree with you boys. I'm pretty locked in on the chat, trying to keep up these updates as well. So
he's locked. This man hasn't stopped thinking about updates.
No, I love it.
I love it. It's just he's
he's
sitting
here wondering.
Dialed in right now.
He is. I love it. I'm sitting here wondering what the score is. What's going on?
Can we get a studio update from the man himself?
I think third period starting up here soon.
All right.
We're in intermission.
Appreciate the studio update.
So everyone just hang out.
Yeah, your player list sounded pretty good for the most part. I got no complaints. Always, baby. Let's go.
Pardon?
They're talking about Detroit Mario.
Back to you, boys. I'm trying to stay up with the chat.
Appreciate that over there from the studio, and a studio update from the Detroit Red Wings game.
Sprung.
I think it's fair though. I think it was crazy and kind of disrespectful that Richard Sherman left Amon-Ra off that list.
Yeah.
And I know it is probably, I don't know, it kind of looked like he was reading off of something too.
He might have been. The fact
if
that
you watch him, he was looking down, back up, and anything, and in media. I mean, you do it. We take notes.
Yeah.
We all have notes. You guys see us looking down at our notes.
I do.
He should have had notes.
Yeah.
What were we gonna say there, Broder?
You don't want to see my notes, right? I got nothing today. I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? Shit. I forgot. Something about Sprong. Did Sprong score? Did Sprong score? I can't remember. Oh, it was about Tyler Lockett. You know, he had something pre-planned because he said he played with Tyler Lockett, right? Seattle Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He didn't even mention DK Metcalf in that whole list.
It's brutal, man. It's kind of disrespectful.
He must be smoking that dispo.
Yes.
Which I'm going to tell you about.
Tell us about it.
I'm going to tell you about that team that curates an exclusive atmosphere. They're open until midnight at the Romeo location every day but Sunday. They have fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products, and they are the first ever cannabis mall of its kind. You can find them located conveniently off Van Dyke and 32 Mile Road in Romeo. Can it get any better than that? It cannot, I can tell you that. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com. They're your local cannabis plug.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
How would you like to win a 100K Vegas getaway? Take your friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps, maybe in February around Super Bowl time. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack of Syntron today and enter to win at drinksyntron.com/Vegas. Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste, look good, feel good, and be the best version of yourself with Syntron. drinksyntron.com/Vegas. Something happened.
Think Trey Turner just hit a bomb.
Trey?
The Phillies, man. That is wild. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. We've got a lot of things going on tonight. Thursday night, playoff baseball. Wings are officially back, baby. The Iser plan is back in Thursday night football.
Yeah.
Things are going on.
What's the score? Do we know a football score?
I've got it for you here right now.
Give it to me,
Give me 10 seconds.
No, that's perfect.
10-0.
10-0?
10-0. It's about to be halftime. Broncos are marching up a little bit here.
The Broncos are bucking?
They're marching up the field. Maybe they can get a field goal by the half, and my plus 10.5 can look good. But we're going to get into it here. If you guys haven't hit that like button, please do for us. Hit the like button, share the stream, be a friend, tell people about the show so we can keep on growing and we don't get... our show just keeps going.
It does.
We just want that thing to keep rolling.
Keep it going.
So, Broder, I saw a list today.
Tell me. Talk to me.
Very
Show me.
disrespectful list.
Show us.
Jaylen, can you just throw the list up here? I don't even need to say anything. I think the people are going to know why we're talking about this list.
So this is head coach rankings via Fox Sports NFL staff. So the NFL experts at Fox, let's keep that in mind. They have at rank number 1 for those listening to audio, Andy Reid, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2, Kyle Shanahan. Number 3, Mike Tomlin. Number 4, Sean McVay. Rounding out your top 5, Mike McDaniel. Number 6, John Harbaugh. Number 7, Doug Peterson. Number 8, Pete Carroll. Number 9, Nick Sirianni. And number 10, Billy.
This makes me mad.
Belichick. Sir William. What makes you mad? It's not a horrible list, but
it's bad.
It's missing one name.
No, it's bad. Someone tell me why Nick Sirianni is so low on that list too.
It's a good question. I mean, he's a great young coach. He got his team to the Super Bowl.
If you probably look at the record the last 2 seasons for a team, he's probably top 3, if not number 1.
Does John Harbaugh have a Super Bowl win with the Ravens?
Yes, Joe Flacco.
Yeah. So Super Bowl. Mike McDaniel does not have a Super Bowl.
I get the Super Bowl.
Everyone else does. Kyle Shanahan doesn't have a Super Bowl, I don't believe.
Why is Doug Peterson above Nick Sirianni on this list?
That is insane, dude.
Why is Doug Peterson above Nick Sirianni? Nick Sirianni took Doug Peterson's job, took that team to a Super Bowl, and Doug Peterson left. Obviously took a Jags team over, and he's turned it around a lot.
Yeah.
But Nick Sirianni... How many games has he lost since he's taken over that job? But Dan Campbell...
Danny...
I get the Bill Belichick thing. He's one of the best coach of all time in the NFL. But at some point, fellas, at some point,
that's tough because is this a ranking of coaches this year or just head coaches in the NFL?
Dude, I don't know.
If it's head coaches this year, Bill Belichick shouldn't be up there. I mean, that order's all out of whack. But I don't know. That's tricky because it's got to be historical. And I can actually understand why Dan Campbell he's only been a head coach for 3 years, counting plus an interim year.
So I get that. I don't think it's historical. If it's historical, Bill Belichick's a lot higher. Yeah, Mike McDaniel wouldn't be 5th.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a this season thing.
I'm putting Dan Campbell ahead of Mike McDaniel, and I love Mike McDaniel. I have a ton of respect for him.
I don't know.
What has he done yet? He's great. He's great. Don't get me wrong.
To be honest, do you want me to be honest?
Please.
He's the best offensive coach in the league right now. So when you're doing that kind of, and I know Dan he's been really good, but he has Ben Johnson. Mike McDaniel doesn't have a Ben Johnson. Mike McDaniel is Ben Johnson and the head coach.
It's a Jared Goff conversation, just in coaching form.
But Mike McDaniel's like Sean McVay. I know Sean McVay has a Super Bowl, but if we're talking about this year, Mike McDaniel's changed that team and that offense. He has the best offense in the league.
Yeah, if we're talking this year, I have a hard time arguing with that.
Dan Campbell, I would put him above a lot of these guys. I'd put him up again above John Harbaugh this year. I'd probably put him up above Doug Peterson. Pete Carroll. I know Pete Carroll. Oh, actually, Pete Carroll beat him, and he won that battle. Bill Belichick, I'll put him above that.
Yes.
Andy Reid.
He beat Andy Reid.
But I don't know. Andy Reid, no matter what, he's still right now really good.
About to be 5-1 with injuries and with
Kyle Shanahan. No, I'd put him above Mike Tomlin.
But yeah, I think just for the argument's sake in general, to say Mike McDaniels is that good of an offensive coach, the best one in the league. Yes, he is. But what about defense? What about special teams? What about everything else that deals with a football game? So that's tricky. That's a good argument. That's a good one,
dude. What number would you put Dan? I'd put him at 7.
Yeah, I'd put him in 10, 9, 8.
7 or
10,
8.
9, 8, 7, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I do still think if they win the division, go to the playoffs, and they win 12 games, if they win 12 games, Dan Campbell wins Coach of the Year.
How many would that put him at? 12? Would he get over 500 in his career record?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the thing. I believe in him. I think Dan Campbell is an amazing coach, and I think he's going to be Detroit's coach for a very, very long time. but it's hard to put him with some of those names, some of the resumes that they have over several years in the league. Dan Campbell's still new 3 years. He's just getting better. Dan Campbell is getting better. You can see how much more seasoned, how much more confident and calm and focused he is from that first press conference to now. It's every time you see him, you kind of learn something new about Dan Campbell. Yet he's still been himself. He's still goofy. Coach. He's still just a player's coach. He's a guy's guy.
Yeah, and there's a lot of coaches around the league, players around the league, analysts around the league who talk about that. That they talk about how Dan Campbell is so much different than other coaches. Like the coach, oh man, who was that? Someone was saying like when you walk in the locker room and you have a coach that's like on edge all the time, like you don't want to be around him. You turn around and go the other way. You stop saying jokes. All of that. Oh my gosh, the Pistons right now.
Holy just
looked over. They were down 11 in the fourth quarter when we talked about it last time. Shout out the Pistons. They're winning right now, 127-125 with 4 seconds left. About to shoot another free throw.
I saw that from T-Stakehold. He said the Pistons win. Wow. I was like, what? There's still 4.9 seconds.
This happened.
They were down 25.
They were down 30 last game and came back. I believe it.
That is a preseason, but
shout out to the bench guys.
Wins or wins, comebacks or comebacks.
Oh, and Chiefs just scored to take a 13-0 lead at half. So 13-0. I'm going to be sweating that plus 10.5 out all night.
How about this question to end? Oh, actually. 9-5, I was going to say for the next 5 minutes, we probably got to go take a break.
Yes.
Let me tell you, Woodward in Maine, Sunday, 8 to 9. Me, Gabrielle D. Phillips, Terry Foster, the legendary Detroit media, Terry Foster. We have our Lions Insider Show, 8 to 9, every game day. Check it out. Booner, also tell them about Big Boy.
Big Boy! Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taken over at Big Boy. Try the best cheeseburger or the new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. You see it right there. And if you want some chicken, the Dolly chicken sandwich, the Bob's hot chicken sandwich, all of that. Make sure you check it out. If you want some fries, upgrade those fries. Chili cheese fries, loaded baked potato fries. They have it all. And save some room for dessert with the Big Boy's Reese's Chocolate Peanut Butter Thunder Cake or the funnel cake fries, which those are amazing. That's just over at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
5 Iron Golf, downtown's newest sports bar. It's got 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, Callaway clubs, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. 5 Iron Leagues are back. They debuted on September 11th. You can compete nationwide for a chance to win a trip to the Dominican Republic. Just bring a foursome for the mustache ride or sign up as an individual to be placed on a team at 5irongolf.com. Use code Woodward10 for 30% off the league. That is 5irongolf.com.
5 Iron. I love 5 Iron. You guys, hey, if you haven't checked it out, go check 5 Iron out.
Or 5 Wood.
Or 5, whatever that is. But welcome back here to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
And the Red Wing power play. Let's get back in this game. Yes, sir. Jack Hughes going to the box.
When he looked at me, I thought the Wings scored, man.
We need that lamp lit.
Let's go, Wings.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
All right, we're going to get into it. If you guys haven't hit the like button yet, please make sure you guys hit that like button for us and share the stream with a friend. Tell them about Woodward Nights. Every time one of you guys tell people, it just doubles us here.
It does.
We slowly are doubling. But we had a good question here, Broder, in the chat. We want to kind of address.
Yep, I got it for you. Freddie Felt 313. We're coming for you. You're rewriting our show rundown for the day. Freddie Felt asks, Broder, what week do you guys think the Lions will win the North? So this is what Booner and I are going to talk about. Booner, let's estimate. When could they clinch? Says win the North. When do you think they could clinch? Or you know what?
That's it.
Do I want to let you interpret it? Like when do they have it won? You could say like already, but when are they going to clinch?
What week is it like official?
Yeah.
I don't. It's a tough question.
It's a tough one.
I don't know in the NFL, and in this kind of, I guess you can kind of look at it as a bad way. As a Lions fan, and all of us as Lions fans, we've really never paid attention to when like you can clinch a division. So I don't know when like a typical week. Like, can you clinch as early as week 14, 15?
I think
is that too early?
It depends how the other teams in your division are doing.
Because in my opinion, I don't want to go too early because obviously they're gonna probably win some games. Like Vikings, like these teams are gonna win some games. I'm gonna say if I'm gonna play a safe bet, week 16 after the Minnesota Vikings. I'm gonna say at week 16 at the you beat the Vikings on the road, you win the division on the road.
Week 16.
Yep, and then you have the Dallas and Minnesota game left. I think it's week 16. Is that a crazy spot?
Let me think about it.
And while you think about it, DeBrincat nets it, ties it up. First goal as a Red Wing. Let's go, boys.
Come on,
DeBrincat, baby. 2-2. Let's go.
Well, that's why they brought him to Detroit.
Exactly. Especially in the third period on power plays. I love that call, Broder.
Let's go.
Unreal.
Literally.
Let's go.
To score goals and specifically on the power play.
Let's go.
So scores 2-2?
2-2, 9 minutes left remaining.
Dude, so that's a big power play goal, too.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
That is massive. That's huge.
Huge. You said week 16.
I said week 16 after the Vikings. I don't know what like the earliest you can do it. I would like to kind of, I don't know, like the earliest you can win a division.
Thing is, like, how are the other division teams going to beat up on each other? Like, what do their records look like by week 12 or 13? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that Broncos game. Like, the Broncos come to Detroit, come to Ford Field. I think there could be something on the line there. It'd be great to be able to clinch a playoff berth before you have to go away to Minnesota, which might be a gimme of a game, but who knows what that looks like at the end of the season. You have to go to Dallas. I expect them to still be in contention, and then at home against Minnesota. If you can be strategic with those last 3 games of the year with how you're resting your players, especially if you don't get that bye, if you're getting the 2 or the 3 seed without a bye, if you can clinch that as early as possible, you can clinch a high seed as early as possible, you can really get strategic, getting your team rested and ready to go.
The earliest the teams ever clinched a division is in the 16-game era. It says a bunch of teams have clinched after 11 games.
Wow.
The 1985 Bears did that, 97 49ers, the 2004 Eagles, and 2007 Patriots. So I guess that might be the earliest is week 11.
Wow.
I don't think the Lions do that. I think I'm more. You know what I would love to happen though? If the Lions go on a big winning streak here, say they beat Tampa, right? You beat Tampa. Mm-hmm. Say you beat Baltimore. You win at Monday Night Football, and you're sitting there with the Chargers.
7-1.
Say you lose the Chargers game.
7-2.
Yep. Say you lose the Chargers game. You beat Green Bay, or you beat Chicago.
8-2.
Beat Green Bay.
9-2.
Beat New Orleans.
10-2.
And then you go on the road at Chicago. I'm guessing if you
11-2.
Yeah, if you're on the road versus there and you can go 11-2, I'm guessing that game in Chicago might be to clinch it.
See how hard it was to pick 2 losses for the rest of the season?
No, it is tough. It's for sure. But like the Dallas game, New Orleans, I think there's 4 games that's really like 5. Let me give you 5. Tampa, obviously we're taking that serious.
Yes.
Baltimore, you're going to take that serious. Chargers, think you take that serious. Mm-hmm. Dallas, New Orleans, because that's on the road. That's an NFC opponent that you might play in the playoffs.
If they're somewhat healthy.
And maybe if you want to do Vegas, but I don't put Vegas in there because Monday Night Football at Ford Field. Yeah. But that's 5 where it's like, okay, that could go either way, but you have to show up.
Yes.
And those are big wins. But I still think you're going to be favored in those games.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this season plays out. Like I know it's a little bit of a fluff schedule, but it's the NFL. They're not going to. I don't believe they're going to run off the next. How many would it be? 12 straight.
Jeez.
That would be aggressive. That would be gassy and aggressive, right, Nick?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to go to break here real quick. Before we go to break, we are going to do mailbag. So make sure we're going to put it in the chat. Make sure you guys start dropping your questions here. We're going a little early, so we need as many questions as you guys can.
We want to talk to you.
Drop as many questions. If you want to drop 4, 5, 6 questions, do it. But Lady Jane's, come to Lady Jane's for haircuts for men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid sweep for the 2024 NCAA tournament. And that is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. That is open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Right there above it. It is wicked awesome.
We should flip these so we can end with wicked awesome. But Les Stanford is an incredible dealership.
Threw me off for a second.
They've been together for over 50 years. I always think about it, but never actually do it and never actually say it. You can expand and offer more products. This is what Les Stanford did. They expanded. They offer more products to more people. They added Les Stanford Buick GMC. It's a great same service that customers have come to know and trust. They're located on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. You can also check them out. Their flagship location, Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at www.lesstanford.com.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live Monday, October 30th at 5 p.m. Until game time. It's at Eastern Market and Shed number 5, and it's going to be a bash. It's the official Lions tailgate, and it's back and better than ever. You can come pregame with your friends here at Woodward Sports Network and be treated like a VIP. We got food, entertainment, drinks. It's all included. Just get your tickets online at bullseyeeventgroup.com.
Yeah, let's go, Nick.
Stretch.
There we go, fellas. Welcome back to Woodward Night. It is the final stretch, as Broder said. We are here. We're rolling here. It is mailbag time. Drop your questions in if you haven't already. Hit that like button while you're at it. Let's get to 75 before the end of the show here. I know there's a lot of people who haven't liked yet, so make sure you guys hit that like button. LFG had this question, Broder.
Yes.
Is the prospect of Lions winning the NFC the equivalent of U of M fans being happy with the win over OSU?
So is the Lions winning the NFC North equivalent to U of M beating Ohio State? I don't think so. Like,
That's a good question, I guess.
It actually is a really good question. I don't think so, but I don't know. Winning the NFC North, we've never done. Like, it's been 30 years, more than 30 years.
Yeah, the way I look at that one is if you beat OSU, you're in the Final Four for college football, so it would kind of be the equivalent of getting to the NFC Championship game in my eyes.
I agree with you in there, but it's more so like Broder said, you haven't won the NFC North in 30-something years. I don't know if he meant the NFC North or the NFC in general. Didn't really...
Yeah.
Can't wait for it when we do.
Absolutely. I took it as the North. I went sort of the rivalry route. Like, what does it mean as for the team, the organization? Like, Michigan beating Ohio State, it feels, regardless of how good or bad they are, on any given season, when you're playing Ohio State, when you're a Michigan athlete, you're talking about Ohio State from the second.
How many times did you beat? What's your record versus Ohio State?
That's a good question. I think we were in the 500 range. One of the best games I ever pitched. Well, I never made it into the game, but in the bullpen, I was throwing BBs against Ohio State, getting ready to go in. Yeah, I didn't make it into that game. That's one of the best
things I've ever heard. That is awesome.
I was.
Because you were like one of my best games. I was throwing gas.
My pitching coach was like, bro, like, who are you? I'm like, put me in, coach.
They didn't put you in?
Coach would have put me in fourth quarter. We would have taken states.
Why? So were you a closer?
No, I came out of the bullpen as a sophomore. I bounced back and forth as a junior.
As a starter?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
what was your record?
I think it ended up like 1-3.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a decently low year. I mean, 4.82 ERA or something like that. I don't know. I had some good games. I had some bad games.
Yeah. That's all right.
It did teach, like, going from a starter to the starter in high school to a bullpen. It's way more of a mind F than I ever thought. Like, it's a totally different type of preparation.
It's still crazy to me that you pitched at the University of Michigan.
Hey.
That's just wild to me to think. Like,
I didn't that.
Like you were there on the same team as Derek Jeter. It's just crazy.
Wild, right? Barry Larkin.
It's just wild.
Jim Abbott. Do you know Jim Abbott?
I've heard of him.
Well, one-handed pitcher.
Oh, yes. I've heard of him. Yep.
Legend.
Mailbag, Lorena Rios.
Yes, Lorena.
Broder, do you eat special foods when you're regrowing your beard and mustache?
Great question.
I eat,
Interesting one.
And then I use horse mane shampoo to promote hair growth on my face. And a lot of shredded wheat and Raisin Bran. Good high fiber diet leads to muscle growth and hair growth or something.
There was another big one here. Nobody said Broder Booner Sports Show. Appreciate that. If the Lions make a move, is it franchise altering or more of a depth piece? Also, you guys are dope. Love seeing the growth.
Thank you.
Lions. Appreciate you, nobody. I hate saying that because it's like I don't appreciate you, nobody.
It's partly why it's one of the best names.
And I'll kind of merge this in because the doc put one in as well and said Dream Lions trade at the deadline. Are we getting Max Crosby? ? So he's asking
like what your dream trade.
They're both similar. Like, are they going to make a big move or it's going to be depth? To be honest, one side of me, it's like I have zero clue what Brad Holmes is going to do. Zero clue. You have no clue. We haven't seen this Brad Holmes yet. No one knows. He hasn't been in this position. Other side of things, though, Broder, I want him to go out and get like a Chase Young.
Yeah,
a 1 year guy. Go out and get a piece that's going to help you win it all. That's where I'm at, Doc. Nobody if you can go get a 1 year guy and go get a Chase Young, I'm in.
Dream trade. I mean, factoring in like the compensation it takes, I would love a Patrick Surtain.
This is a good one.
It's going to be too expensive.
And I did see this morning as well.
What?
I sent it over to our social group. Frank Clark's available. He's on the trade block. I sent it to Kool-Aid this morning, and I just put Lions with the little emoji because I thought, I was like,
on-field fit, pretty perfect. Pretty perfect.
That's what you're missing. James Houston just went down.
Yeah, and he's if you're expecting to make the playoffs, is there any better edge rusher in the playoffs?
You're getting him for cheap.
Elite.
But
in the playoffs.
He's the opposite of the guys you have in the locker room. I'll try to say this politically correct. He's not a good person.
That's terrible.
Is he not?
He's not.
No, not at all.
He's a Michigan guy, right?
Yeah, and we overlapped.
Oh, so you've...
he's not
Broder insider info.
So I'll take two routes at this.
All right, take
bad
two.
news Bears 3-2. Bad guys.
What is it?
Bad news Bears. Yep.
What a bad
My bad. Back to Frank Clark. Let's
so
head on
is the locker room... Is that... Oh, that was a bomb. Spencer... Nick Castellanos again?
Castellanos! Ring the bell and continue the great story.
We all got ADD tonight. That was a bomb. But Frank Clark, is the locker room, is this culture that they built, is it strong enough to, whether it's Frank Clark or anyone else with some character problems, is it strong enough to bring someone like that in? Like, can you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those guys on your team? Some people say you do. You need a little not violence, a little.
Oh, you said it.
Yeah, you just need a little questionable character.
The doc said, I think he's talking about Frank Clark. He said pass.
Yeah.
I'm if this is the thing, I'm going to say pass as well because I don't really care. I've been very vocal on this. I'm sure I'm sure the doc, I'm sure everyone, a lot of the reporters, I'm sure people, fan base, is Dan's already shown that you can you can win and kind of do what you want to do with guys that aren't on that level.
Yes.
So why bring in a guy or take a risk on a guy who could potentially not work out and mess that up?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? Like, there's other guys. Chase Young, I'm sure, is a better fit than that.
Right,
in my opinion.
I would rather go that route. I know he's more injury prone. He's not proven in the
cheaper,
playoffs, but
like
Chase Young, baby, I would love. Hey,
someone asked one in here about a person as well, and I wanted to. I'm trying to go back to see someone.
Yeah.
Oh, Patrick Afaria said that boy named Sue.
Oh, and then
that's
Domicon.
one that I would be very well like. Yeah, we talked about this a couple days ago actually, and I mentioned how Jeff on the morning show, when I filled in for the morning show with Jeff, we had that conversation, and him and Lucas were telling me, oh no, he's not going to come to Detroit. He's only going to, and this is when obviously they thought that Detroit wasn't going to be a contender compared to now, but they were like, he's only going to go to a contending team. But if the Detroit Lions are contending, they would have to be at the top of his list to come back to Detroit. If you're sitting there at, I think he said in November was when he would be. He was like, I'll sign somewhere.
Andre Iguodala.
Yeah, I think if you're sitting there in November at like 7-2, even like a 7-3, I don't know if that's November time, but
what about this, Greg Rounds? What about this, Greg Rounds? He says this is a pipe dream, but what about going after Matthew Judon on the Patriots?
Well,
doubt he would be cheap, but not as high.
Are you saying for this year though?
Yeah,
he's
hurt.
Oh, he's out for the year.
He's out for the year?
Yep, whole year.
He doesn't just have an elbow injury?
No, it was he tore his pec. Same as CJ Gardner-Johnson.
No Matthew Judon. Sorry. I like the thought process though, like going after someone who you can pull out. Yeah, what?
No, he's from here. Oh
shit! Did they hit another home run? Oh Jesus!
Petrie in the box, power play, Devils
4-2,
3-2. Petrie's in the box, down a man.
Why
our guy Petrie?
There's so many penalties.
Yeah, there's not looking great for the Wings. Bounce back at home Saturday if we can't complete this comeback.
Yeah, I think Judon would be a good piece to add at some point. Like if whether I don't know when his contract's up. Or if that's an elite piece with Aiden Hutchinson, and he's going to cost a lot of money.
It's a dime piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
See, is there any more? We'll take one more.
One more. Rosenberger. One more.
One more.
Name that movie.
One more question. That is Toy Story.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Rookie of the Year, I believe. Also, I wonder if Spencer Strider, he's back on short rest. He doesn't give up this many home runs, and it seems like the Phillies are getting
Samuel Lang. Bring in Bosa.
Someone said something about trading for TJ Watt. Like,
I'll take him.
It was like JMO for TJ Watt. I'm like,
deal.
That's
sign
insane, but
sign it.
Yes,
I'll do that. Hey, we appreciate you guys all for tuning in to Woodward Nights. The whole crew. The part timers are out tomorrow. Nick's out until Tuesday. We will be back here, me and Broder, though, tomorrow 8 to 10 with a couple different guys filling in. We appreciate you guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and comment on the stream below. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Don't be late. Love you guys.
My G's.